Who do you want to thank before we wrap up? I know you've talked a lot about your parents and what a great son you are because you're thinking about like so much more than Lambo, parents. Awesome.
It's who would I want to thank? So I mean, I absolutely will thank my parents. It's like growing up in the environment that we did was hard. I wouldn't wish it on somebody, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Right? It's seeing my parents like push and persevere and like nothing crazy bad happened. It was just like hard times and a hard economy. Like we were very impacted by um the dot-com crash, and then 2008 like hit some like really really hard times. um but there's no give up, right? And seeing that as a kid, I did not understand that, right? It was actually there I'll tell a quick story that like this is like become a core memory for me in my journey to like financial freedom. And I actually called my dad and stepmom probably like a month or two ago to see if they remembered this, because I like had to share it with them. My dad wasn't doing too good, and I like had to tell him and get it off my chest. But I was 8 years old, 9 years old. We couldn't afford to go on any vacations. The only vacation we would go to is 3 hours north from Minneapolis, is Duluth, Minnesota. It's right on Lake Superior. Um, and we'd stay at this place called Lake Breeze. Lake Breeze was like a kind of a dump, right? It was like a cabin, and they had a playroom with like foosball, and they had like about as regular as a pool as you could get, right? And it wasn't even like, nothing was nice, but this place was like heaven for me. Like I thought this place was like the be all end all. Like looked forward to going to Lake Breeze every year for 4th of July. Like this was heaven on earth. Like I loved that freaking pool and playing foosball with like, I don't know. I loved it. Right. Cause I was like the only vacation. I was like, we're going on vacation. Like you have friends who are going to Florida, Hawaii. They're coming back. Their hair's braided and like tan and whatnot. I was like, well, I can't do that shit. Well, I got Lake Breeze. Right. And I loved that. And we had a family freaking piggy bank for Lake Breeze. It was a shoebox that we duct taped, and we called it our Lake Breeze box. And we would put money in there to save up for Lake Breeze. And I was a kid, and I would find like pennies, quarters, whatever I had on the ground, and I'd put in the Lake Breeze box, and I'd contribute. That was my contribution to us going to Lake Breeze for 4th of July. One day I got home and I went to go put some money that I had found in the Lake Breeze box, and the box was gone. We always kept it in the kitchen. And I was like, that's weird. Like, where's it at? My sister was home, like watching me, and my parents were gone. And I started like getting like very concerned. Like, where did it get stolen? Like searching through the house. Like I ended up in my parents' bedroom, and I found it in their closet, like ripped open and empty. And I was like devastated is an understatement. Like I saw like my annual dreams of going to Lake Breeze just ripped from my hands in that box being cut open and empty. And I was crying. I was visibly upset, and my parents were gone. I was just like, I see them start to come home, and we have this memory is just like ingrained in me. We have a split level house. So you walk in, you can go upstairs, you go downstairs. And my parents get home, and I'm standing on top of the stairs holding this duct tape shoebox empty. And I look at my dad and my stepmom, and they are on the landing from the front door with groceries. And it did not hold any value to me at that point. I was 8, 9 years old. I was just like, you stole from the Lake Breeze box. And I was so angry, and they're like sitting me down. They're trying to tell me, it's like, hey, like we needed the money to go buy groceries. And like, I couldn't comprehend at that age, like, why can't you just use other money? Like, this is Lake Breeze money. We do this. This is the only vacation we do. Like, why do we need to use this money for food? And like, they did their best to like explain the value of food versus vacation. And like, we were at the point where we had to literally take this change to a Coinstar to get it for cash to go to the grocery store. And I was a kid and I just like could not get it. I could not understand why that decision was made. And I can't imagine the pain that I caused them, because I was just at that point, like I had cried and I was angry, and I was just like thinking back on that as an adult now, the amount of hurt that I caused them, the amount of pain and like sadness and regret that they had gotten to that point where they had to take Lake Breeze money to buy groceries. Right. And I called my parents and told them how much like this was a core memory of me and I wanted to apologize. And obviously it's like, they tell me I have nothing to apologize for, but like, I never want to have that conversation with my kid where I have to take something that he loves so much, even if it's insignificant in our eyes, to have to do something like that and put them through that sort of pain for a staple. Like they had to do that. Right. And but who knows? Like if I don't learn that lesson, then I'm thankful for it. Right. At the time, as a kid, I was furious, but it's become a core memory for me and a driving force for why I want financial freedom for stability and to be able to provide, so I don't have to have those types of conversations with my kids. And so I'm thankful for them for pushing through those days.
Holy shit.
I didn't expect to tell that story today, but yeah.
And you talked to your dad about it?
Yeah, I called him like 2 months. He had a pretty major stroke recently and was like not doing well. And I wanted to make sure I told him and thanked him for that, because we weren't sure if he was going to make it.
How's he doing?
He's doing better now, thank God.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's stable now. They think they found the source of the clots. He has to go back in for surgery probably in the next month or so. But he's like stable now in a much better spot. But I'd kept that to myself for a very long time. And I don't know why, but it took almost losing my dad to really come to terms with that memory and making sure that I thanked them for that.
Morgan, I think your parents are proud to have you as a kid.
I appreciate that.
It's crazy, man.
It was definitely tough, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
I mean, as a parent, providing for your kids
is all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in order to do so, having to take away something that meant
everything
to me. Like that was our only vacation. That was like, I looked forward to it.
Oh, that had to break their hearts.
Yeah. I can't even imagine having to be on the other side of that table. And just to think like when I was talking to him about it, there's like, Morgan, you have nothing to apologize for.
Seriously.
You're a kid. And like I understand that, but also like, it was like, it's me. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, I get it. I don't need to apologize as a kid. And like, you don't know, you learn so much as you don't.
Did you know what I learned about you? Like it just talks about your heart, who you are as a human being.
Yeah.
Like that's what blows my mind, that you, it's so hard sometimes to be vulnerable because it just shows like it's fear.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to be honest, you know, and since I didn't expect us to go here. Do you know what I'm trying to do for the boys? You know, I have 3 boys. I'm just trying to get to know them, like who they are, what they want in life. What do they want to explore? What do they want to learn? You know, like if I were sitting here, Luke, 31 years old, said what you said, I'll be blown away. That's awesome, man. All right. Well, on that note, I'm so glad we got an opportunity to get to know you. That I've never. We've done a lot of firsts. I don't think I've ever balled up on an episode before, but it is what it is. Like, you know what? Connection is everything. And bro, I am so grateful that I've gotten a chance to get to know you. And, you know, this just getting to know you better today just makes like you're an incredible person. I just really, really appreciate that, you know, you're a friend.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you.
If you enjoyed what you saw, like, share, comment, and forward to someone that this will bring value to. Thank you so much for all the support. We appreciate it.